Hey, what's up you guys, it's your boy Drew here back again with another video for all you American soccer fans out there. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys my predictions on the Women's World Cup, group stages, and more importantly, the US Women's National Team group stage prediction because, this is mostly an American soccer channel. So let's get to it. But of course, as always, if you guys love soccer and you want to see it get the growth and respect it deserves in this country, and you want to be part of that change, subscribe down below and be part of it. Oh yeah, one more thing before we move forward. If this video gets a good feedback and is received well, lots of comments and lots of likes, lots of support, then definitely I would want to be able to cover the U.S. Women's, or just the Women's World Cup in general, on this channel. And obviously, if the Women's National Team for USA gets to the World Cup final, then obviously I would live stream as I usually do for big finals on this channel. If you guys are fans of the channel for a long time, you know I've covered two previous cup finals, live streamed them. And when I mean live stream, I don't mean I'm going to show the video here live stream because I would totally get flagged and taken down and in trouble with YouTube, and I don't want that. But what I mean for live stream is that I would put the TV on here, and you guys could watch it on your TV. I'd watch it here, and we'd watch it together on a live stream on the channel. We can comment to each other. You guys can ask me questions as we watch the game, react to goals here on the channel and comments, and we'll talk, have a good time. So if you guys would like me to cover the U.S. or the Women's World Cup, let me know down below. Show me some support here on this video with a thumbs up, and let's get to it. So the Women's World Cup is only 4 weeks away. It'll be here before you guys know it, and what better time to talk about the group stages of this World Cup than now? I mean, it's more, like I said before in the intro, more importantly, I'm going to talk about mainly the U.S. Women's National Team because this is basically an American soccer channel here. So it just makes sense, to talk about the women's national team for America. Okay, so here are the group stages as they were announced a couple of months ago. Some pretty enticing ties we see in many group stages. France is a pretty tough group. I'd say USA has probably the easiest group out of the big women's national team nations. It's funny to see like some of these nations that if you compare them to the men's, they're totally different. Like if you go and you pick like Argentina, and you pick the men's side, the women's side really isn't as good in their soccer field as the men's is. But then, if you think about it, without Lionel Messi, I'm sure they're really not as good anyway. So that kind of nullifies that argument. But you know what I mean, you see a lot of nations in the Women's World Cup that you wouldn't see maybe in the Men's World Cup. And that's cool to see. I like to see these nations represented by the female counterparts. I think that's really cool. I think they all deserve the same amount of support. So I'm on board with that topic. So anyway, let's look at Group F, because that's what we're all here, We're all here for Group F. And we got USA, Thailand, Chile, and Sweden. Now I think, like I said, this is probably the easiest group for the USA to have. They got really lucky in this World Cup draw. They're easily, I think, going to top this group. No problem whatsoever. I think if any team is going to give them some trouble, it's got to be Sweden. I'm sure USA will top it, Sweden second, and then, Thailand and Chile will probably it doesn't really matter. I don't know who's going to finish that. I'm not really too familiar with the Thailand and Chilean women's national team, so I'm sorry if you guys are. So after the U.S. girls get out of this group stage easily, I think, in the knockout phases, depending on how the schedule lines up, I'm not too familiar how the schedule is going to line up after the group stage, but the big teams that I think will give them some trouble going forward is France, obviously the host nation of this World Cup. I think they have a pretty decent team this year. Also, Japan, as always, is going to be a threat to the U.S. Women's National Team. They have such a rivalry because of all the World Cup finals they've been together. The last two World Cup finals I'm pretty sure it was Japan and USA. Japan winning one, then USA coming back in 2015 when they absolutely destroyed Japan. When Carly Lloyd scored like a hat-trick, wasn't she? I think she scored a hat-trick and she scored a goal from like halfway through the field. I watched that live with my mom and my family. It was really good, a really good game to see. Love to see the U.S. represented in a light, positive manner in terms of soccer. So yeah, France, Japan, a big threat to the USA, possibly. But also another team that maybe could be a dark horse is the England women national team. And that's because I think they've had a really good team this year. They came in third place in the 2015 World Cup. And they're also the current holders of the She Believes Cup, what they did this year. So they've shown that they're able to compete in long tournaments and compete in an actual tournament, knockout phase tournament. So, I wouldn't put it past them to go pretty far in this Women's World Cup. But nonetheless, I think the women's national team from USA is going to win the whole thing again. If not, at least make it to the finals against either Japan or France. But I really don't see anybody dethroning this team because this team is really, really built well. They've got a great coach. They've got, Jill Ellis is her coach. They've got just a great structure about their team. Mentally, they're so ready for this. And I hope they keep the mentality, that winning mentality with them. And they're still hungry to win more things. I know it's really hard to repeat a World Cup for anybody, women or men. It's a very difficult thing, especially this day and age in the sport. But I think highly that the women's national team for USA could definitely do the repeat in this World Cup and retain their title. Okay, so I've been raving about the U.S. women's national team's success and how good I think they are. So let's just talk about the roster, and let me talk about what players I'm excited to see perform in this World Cup and who I think the favorites are going to be to start. So it took me a long time to actually find a graphic that had all their names organized with big enough letters that I could actually read them. But here we go. You guys can see it right here. For goalkeepers, let's start at the back. We got Alyssa Nair, Ashlyn Harris, and Adriana Franch. I think Alyssa Nair is going to be the number one goalkeeper for Jill Ellis to start this World Cup. Probably followed by Ashlyn Harris and then Adriana Franch as the third backup. But nonetheless, Nair is going to be the number one pick for Jill Ellis in this World Cup. It's really weird to see, really weird not to see Hope Solo started in goal for the U.S. Women's National Team because she was such a household name for this team and for the this national team. I mean, she's got her own problems, and I really don't care for her as much as I used to. It was as much as I did when I was a younger adolescent child. But I think Alyssa Nair is a pretty good replacement for Hope Solo. I think she really is going to do the job. She's going to do the work, put in the hard work. I really have faith in Nair, so props to you, girl. Let's go on to the defenders now. We got Sonnet, O'Hara, Krieger, Sarah Braun, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Abby Dahlkemper, Tiana Davidson, and Crystal Dunn. Obviously, O'Hara is going to be a good player there. Crystal Dunn as well. Not a lot of household names obviously here, but definitely a lot of quality defenders here for the national team. A lot of great players to see. Let's go to midfielders. We got Brian, Long, Rose, Lavelle, Lindsay Horan, Julie Ertz, and Samantha Muse. Julie Ertz probably the biggest name, or the biggest standout name and household name in this midfield lineup. Mostly because of how good of a midfielder she is for the U.S. Women's National Team. I think she started off as a defender and kind of moved her way into the midfield as a defensive midfielder. And also now, well, not now, but I'm sure she's been for a while. But she is married or with a famous Philadelphia Eagles football player. I think Zach Ertz or something like that. And there was a video going around of her, emotionally reacting to the Philadelphia Eagles getting into the Super Bowl, and that was really good touching video to see those two sports worlds collide with each other. And there was a cool YouTube video when she was mic'd up for the U.S. Women's National Team camp training, and you could see her, or actually hear her and see her training, and making jokes with the other girls in the camp. So that was pretty cool. But as for the lineup for them, I think Jill Ellis is going to go with her preferred trio as of late, which is Julie Ertz, Lindsay Horan, and Rose Lavelle. That seems to be her preferred lineup with the three in the midfield if she decides to go with three in midfield. But enough for that. Let's get to the forwards. So as for the wingers in this forward section, we got Megan Rapinoe, Tobin Heath, Kristen Press, and Mallory Pugh. Obviously, all of these wingers named are insanely good and insanely popular within household names for the U.S. Women's National Team. Obviously, Tobin Heath and Megan Rapinoe being personally my favorites to watch, and because they're such good quality players for the national team. I really like them starting in the lineup. Kristen Press obviously is good, and so is Mallory Pugh. I just can't rave about how much I adore these women. They're so good. It's the quality that the women's national team for USA has in terms of attacking ability is insane. And we're going to talk about the strikers right now. Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd, and Jessica McDonald. Carly Lloyd and Alex Morgan, obviously two lethal strikers. Probably more Carly Lloyd than Alex Morgan right now. And obviously we don't have Abby Wambach, leading the line and attacking like we did in the 2015 World Cup. But Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyd definitely going to be able to fill that void, along with Tobin Heath and Megan Rapinoe, coming in from the wide areas. I don't see anybody in this World Cup being able to top the U.S. Women's National Team. So with that being said, guys, I'd love to see your thoughts and hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know who you think the U.S. Women's National Team is going to have trouble facing. And let me know if you guys think the U.S. Women's National Team can go the way and do the repeat and defend their World Cup title. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking it with me, and I'll see you next time.